Hello, hello, hello. Hi, my name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the Business Plug, and you've just tuned into the Business Plug's Mixer. So go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the button, hit the notifications, do all the things so you'll know that when we come on, because we come on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and I want to make sure that you don't miss a thing. Coming up today, I am so excited. We met over a year ago, and I wanted to get her on my show, and she's here, you all. So the only person that I know that produces champagne, like she makes champagne globally for people that drink champagne. But the fact that I know somebody who actually does that now, that is a wonderful thing, and you're going to want to meet Karolyn. She'll be up shortly. But before I get to her, I want to tell you the two things I need to do in order to keep my team together. So right now, I'm helping businesses learn how to get contracts. Learn how to get contracts. One of my businesses talked to me 8 o'clock this morning and said, "Hey, Linda, I got a $55,000 3-month contract for doing education. Yay, yay. That's what we like. That's what we like. More of that." And so she's like, "Well, if you ever need anybody that wants to know if your program worked, then please tell them to refer them to me so I can tell them." And I love the people who actually do the work. And so if you are interested in getting government or corporate contracts, then I'm doing a live meetup on January the 1st at 12 o'clock. I've been doing live meetups on January the 1st at noon for about 13 years, about 12 or 13 years. And this year is no different. I am meeting businesses where they are in order to help them to get where they want to go. And we're talking about getting contracts so you can get recurrent and consistent income on January the 1st. It's a live event. It is free. It is my gift for the year to get you off right. So if you're in or around the Chattanooga, Tennessee area and you're interested in learning about contracts for your business, come and join us. Now, with all that said and done, and the event, how do you get tickets? Well, it's actually a Facebook event. So it's called, I forgot that fast what it was. It's called Government Contracted. It's on the LSMB Business Solutions Facebook page. You can find the event. You click going, and your head count because it's a free event. There's no charge to come, just your participation and your presence. So yeah, that's where you get to it. Now, all that said and done, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to my stage my friend Karolyn. Hey, Karolyn.
Hi.
so,
Hi.
so, so, okay. So tell my audience, who is Karolyn?
Karolyn. Oh, okay. So I'm Karolyn Denson Landrieux. I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania originally. Um, Went to high school in Virginia, went back to Pennsylvania. I was a flight attendant for 35 years with a major carrier. I live part-time in Paris, part-time in the United States. Right now, we're based in Chicago. I write children's books and I write short stories and poetry. And I met Linda on the blocks.
You met me
So
on the blocks.
that's right. We were what do you call it? Teammates, or I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah, yeah. We
It-
were all part of the
yeah,
crew.
we were all part of the crew, exactly. And actually, Linda was the very first person that I met when I arrived. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we were in the bus. Yeah,
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 we
yeah,
rode the
yeah,
bus together. So Linda was
yeah.
the very first person that I got to know. And Linda and I were the seniors in the group. So everybody else was like, younger than we are. So,
Yeah.
but
But
anyway,
we
we had
had
a really
interesting
good time.
conversation.
We
Yeah, yeah,
did. We did. And we hit it off right away. And I
we
knew like
did.
Linda was all about business and she was somebody that I needed to talk to. So, but at that time when I was there, that's when I was there for my publishing company, for my children's publishing company.
You were.
But
Yeah.
since then, we've launched our champagne brand. So, and
Exactly.
that's what Linda was talking about. So, my husband is from the his father's side of the family is from the Champagne region in France. So, if you know anything about champagne, champagne has to come from Champagne. It has to
Yeah.
come from France. Otherwise, it's something else like cava, prosecco, sparkling wine, sparkling California wine, whatever. So champagne has to be French.
I
Um,
love it.
and as a Black American female, it's unheard of for us to be able to be in that space because it's very structured. Like
Mm.
champagne is very regulated. It has to follow certain standards. So I'm able to go there and be a part of the space because of my husband's family.
I love it.
Our growers producers that we work with are both female grower producers, which is also unheard of. So we're very female forward. My daughter and I are owners, co-owners with my husband. And then our growers producers are both female grow producers where their vineyards were passed down from their dads. And so one of them, I think, are 10 to 12 generations back, like during the time of Dom Perignon.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was passed down from her grandfather, great great grandfather to. So they go back generations. I think my husband's family is 5. So yeah, so breaking into this space is exciting. It's fun. It's interesting. I'm one of the only Black females that are in Champagne in the United
Wow.
States. And we're growing like exponentially. We launched in March. Our brand is getting known. We are spending a lot of time in DC. I'm in New York right now, actually, doing some stuff here. But we're based in Chicago, and that's where we distribute and we wholesale and import into Chicago.
And so, how do you become a flight attendant? And now you got this whole,
oh, girl,
you got this whole
way back now.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, wait.
Well, I did a semester abroad when I was 16. Okay. And the flight attendants were like gorgeous and beautiful. And I'm like, I want to do that. And I told my dad I want to do that. And he's like, oh, you're not doing that. So he's like, you're going to go to university. And I'm like, no, but I'm going to do that. And so when I was able to at 21, I became a flight attendant. Well, actually, I was a little bit older. I think I was 23 when I started being a flight attendant or something, somewhere in that vicinity, 23, 24, maybe. And then I did it for like 34 and a half years. Wow. I would have been my 35th year, the year that I retired from doing that. So, but during that time, I always was an entrepreneur. You know how it is, Linda. Right?
Oh yeah. It's in your
like,
blood.
If it's in you, it's in you, right? So I always did something else. I always had a little something going on.
Yeah, that sidekick. Yeah,
I always had a side hustle. Always.
I know it. Yeah. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. So I learned that all champagne follows the process of Dom Pignon. What is it?
Dom Perignon.
Dom Perignon. Yeah. I learned that from my assistant today, was educating me on champagne.
But here's the kicker, right? Dom Perignon was a monk, and he decided that he was going to he was a winemaker. So he was like winemaker to one of the princes or kings or something like that. So he decided, I'm going to experiment and I'm going to add yeast and sugar to the wine and see what happens and see what it tastes like. And that's how champagne was born. And he was like, oh my God, this is really, really good. So that's how champagne got.
That born. Is amazing. That is amazing.
But it used to be a lot sweeter than it is right now. So like when you look at the bottle of champagne, when you see sec actually means sweet. So sec is the sweetest. Demi-sec is half sweet. Brut means dry. Semi-brut is like half dry. So yeah. But it used to be a lot sweeter and the bottles were bigger back in the day.
Okay.
So they made them smaller and less sweet.
Okay. That's interesting too. And this is your season because this is like celebration season, all the Christmas holiday, the Thanksgiving, all the holiday, New Year's, all the holidays.
Listen, with champagne, it's always in season. Honestly, there's always something because when people have a wedding, what do? They pop a champagne. When people get married, when they get divorced, when you have a baby, when you know what I mean? People are always
when you
like,
become of age, like all the
right.
absolutely.
Right.
Birthdays,
people, they want a champagne, they want to pop a champagne. So And it's a luxury product, but it's accessible to everybody. So that's what makes it really nice, you know.
Yes, yes. And so, how did you? So, like any other business, this is a process, right? Because you have to do all the branding and
Oh
all the,
my.
yeah, marketing and all the things.
The licensing is the hardest part, right?
Mm,
So I have learned so much about the liquor industry in general, because we have to be licensed with the TBT in the United States,
mm-hmm.
which is the tobacco, what is it? Tobacco, liquor, and firearms. So you have to be licensed there first with
Okay.
USA. And then each individual state has their own license as well. So after we get licensed in the United States, then we had to go back and get licensed in the state of Illinois. And then that's highly regulated. So we can only, out of the 3 licenses, we can only hold 2. So ours is wholesale and distribution. So we don't do retail. We can sell directly to individuals, but only in larger amounts, like in 3 to 6 bottles or 12 bottle, whatever. But to like individually sell a glass of champagne, we're not licensed to do that. So we have to have somebody
Right,
that
right.
owns a restaurant or store, whatever, to be able to sell it by the glass. Which I found out the hard way. You cannot have all 3 licenses. You have to give one up. And I'm like, okay, well, and then to get that license is super difficult. You know, I mean, the process, it took us from the thought of wanting to do this to the time we launched, it took us about 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And it's not easy. And then being a woman, but particularly a Black woman, there was a lot of pushback from, you know, people in the industry. There's no help. You're just not going to get help at all.
Mm,
So
mm.
everything I learned, I either learned on my own through research or through my husband's family, because it's not the same in France. You know,
Yeah.
French people don't think the way they think
Yeah.
here. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
you don't get that pushback so much. They're just like, oh great, you want to do this, we'll help you.
Yeah.
Here, not so much.
They're like, no, we want to lock it down to just a small few of us. And
Exactly, they want to
yeah,
keep it very close to their chest.
yeah,
And then but that's what's different in Champagne. They're not as competitive because it's so highly regulated.
mm-hmm.
It's not as competitive. For example, like my husband's family that does champagne, they're only permitted, because of the amount of land that they have in the hectares, to
Mm-hmm.
produce X amount of champagne per year.
Mm.
So anything that's overproduced either gets turned into um, uh, salad dressing or table one. I mean, like a vinaigrette or something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
they throw the grapes away, or you know, they'll put it in some other product because they can't overproduce.
Right.
So you'll go to, you know, different vineyards there, and they all drink each other's champagne. It's not competitive.
Right.
But when you get to the United States, it's
Baby.
highly competitive for no reason.
Well, we're the nation of money.
That part.
And
That part.
you know, yeah, the more you travel abroad, the more you see how different it is.
Exactly.
And a lot of people
Exactly.
haven't went to like abroad to learn customs and traditions. They go to vacation, and so they just go spend
Right.
time, but they don't
Right.
learn anything about the culture and about. But once you go and learn about the cultures and on different continents, you actually learn a lot about the country you come from.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
think so. My theory is that I believe all American children should study abroad for at least 2 weeks to several months. Like, just go live there. It doesn't even matter where. Go to China, go to, you know, anywhere, Europe, Antarctica. And you know, just go live that life. Go live with the people and be a part of their culture. I think that they learn so much more that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm the same way. And all of my boys have been international. Like they've lived outside of the country for at
Hmm.
least 20 days.
Exactly. And I
because I
think
think
all
that education
American,
is important. It's very important.
it is. And it's something that you'll never learn in school. And I think all American
No,
children should do that. I really do. So
absolutely. I am
it
advocate for that
changes you.
because
It changes you.
it changes. Well, it increases your worldview, and you're not when
Hmm.
you are around the same people that think the same way. You don't get the opportunity to explore how creative and amazing it is in other places.
Right.
So I'm
Right.
totally on board with that. Totally on board. Like I
Yes.
said, all three
Yes.
of mine have been outside of the country, and I insisted on that because I wanted them to have a worldview that was bigger
Yeah.
than where we live.
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
for
I think
you.
that's very
Good for
important.
you.
I think it's important.
Did your
I think
boys grow
it's
up in Tennessee?
They have. So all of them were raised here in Chattanooga, but then my oldest one was in the Navy, which they traveled the world. And then my middle one spent time in Lynchburg in Canada. He's a part of our summer villages, which at the age of 11, kids from like 17 countries meet up in Canada or someplace and they spend 30 days together learning each other's customs. So my middle one did
Wow.
that. Yeah. And summer international, what is it? It's Children's International Summer Villages. So shout out to them. He was 11 and people said, "You're letting him go?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm letting him go." So
Absolutely.
yeah, and he represented the UN. He was one of the kids that represented the United States when he was 11. And then my youngest one, his school is very broad thinking. They have Padaya education. And so he did a tour of Europe, a 20-day tour of Europe when he was in the 10th
Nice.
grade. So yeah, all three of
Nice.
them have been outside of the country. And I love that about their education is global.
Yes. And then they
Yeah.
come back and they can be different. They think differently. I
They
mean,
think different. Absolutely.
unless you've done it, like you can't even explain
No,
the
no.
way that
But
you feel when you come back home,
but you
you
said
know?
all American children. I think all Americans, period,
Well, yeah,
should
but I'm
spend
just saying,
time
like, it
somewhere
should
else.
start as part of their education, but
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how many Americans I know that don't even have passports.
See, and so I refuse to take the decision making of a person that has never left the borders. I just can't. I can't. I cannot. I cannot. I mean, 'cause, I have friends in Barbados. I have friends in Jamaica. I have friends in Africa. I have friends everywhere I've been, and I just when people start talking and they're talking about something they've not experienced,
Right.
I I
Right.
I, I can't get with that. I because I've seen too much.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just
If you're that narrow minded
is that
about, it's like, excuse me, what is your experience? Like, have you even entered that? How can you have a conversation about something you don't know?
that they know nothing about. They know it secondhandedly, and
Or what they've seen on TV,
yeah,
right?
secondhand, and that's been, you know, the first time I saw the actual Statue of Liberty in New York. I was like, what? Because on TV it's huge, and on
Right.
TV it's this, and yeah, it's big. It's not small, but it's not as big as it appears on TV. And my ex-husband, God rest his soul, we went to the Alamo because in my mind's eye, the Alamo was a fortress with these wooden fence and
Right.
guards walking around the top of, in my mind's eye. But then when I actually went, he was taller than the doorway. And he was like 6'1" or something, but he was taller. He had to bend down to go in the doorway. And I'm thinking, I'm not
Yeah.
impressed with this stuff they teach me. I want to see it for myself. I don't
Oh,
believe it.
yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
people sensationalize stuff. Yeah. And
Yeah,
so
they
I
do.
love that you are doing this globally. I love that your brand is like a universal brand, and I know that is difficult. Like that's not an easy feat to have. But kudos to your husband's family for keeping the tradition going, and your husband for getting you guys involved in it with him, and all the good things. Like I'm amazed and wonderfully amazed of the things you do. I've seen some of the commercials where you and him have been. I've seen some of the commercials, and I will start sharing more of them on my sites. But I love the fact that you all are going on this journey and that you're doing amazing things. Like I am so impressed by you.
Oh, thank you.
You and your family. I
Likewise.
really am. You and your family, you're
Likewise.
doing the thing. I love that. I absolutely love that.
We do travel a lot. Like we're always somewhere. People are like, "Where are you now?" So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's part of my DNA. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
come on, we're just gonna pack a bag and go. So
Said the flight attendant. Yeah.
that part. Yeah,
See,
that's
yeah.
yes, exactly. Well, it's funny because when I met him, I was like, you know what? If you can't travel and you're not interested in, you're not the man for me. Because,
Yeah.
even when I was a little kid, my mom would say, all I would say is let's. And she said, I turned around and you were in the car already. She said, I couldn't
Yeah, I
even get
love
the
it.
go part out. You were in the car. That's just who I am. So yeah, we love to travel. We go all over the place. Like, we're bringing our champagne brand with us, which is so much fun because it's such a fun business. I mean, it's so
Mm,
celebratory. You can't
yeah.
drink champagne and not be happy, right?
Yeah. 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 You
Even if
can't
you're
dry tears
sad,
in
it's going to make
champagne.
you
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, exactly. But kudos. Like big props to you guys on the,
Oh,
the
thank
things
you.
that you're doing around the world and the experiences that you're allowing other people to have through you. Like watching you and watching you all do your commercials and watching all the things and the places where you're going and the things you're doing. It's very impressive. And yeah, kudos. Like, go ahead
Thank
and do
you.
it. I know her. Go ahead and do that,
Well,
girl.
thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's
So
it's it's such a wonderful business. It really is a lot of fun.
I heard you. I heard you. So, what is something that you would want somebody? Because my show is business conversations with business people for business people, and if someone wants to go after a dream that's not the ordinary, right? Because this is definitely not the ordinary dream.
No.
So, yeah. So what do you think they should do? What is some advice or 3 points you could give them on where to start if you're not traditional, like if you're
So
outside of the box?
I would say the first thing to do is do your research. Like learn as much as you can about what it is that you're interested in. Because
Mm.
after educating yourself, you may or may not want to continue that journey. Because it's never as easy as you think that it is. Even if
Yeah,
somebody makes it look easy, make sure that you educate yourself and you know what you're getting yourself into.
I
The
love
second
that.
thing, don't give up. You're going to hear a lot of no's. Always. There's going to be doors that slam in your face, but never give up. If that's your dream, hang on to it and just keep going. Like you'll
Yeah,
get there eventually. And then the third thing I would say is be patient. It's going to take time. There's no such thing as an overnight success, right?
right. There's
Everybody
not.
who's an overnight success has probably been at it for many, many, many years, a lot more than they'll ever admit to you. So don't give up. Like if you get into the space, give yourself enough time to grow and make it work for you because it will eventually. The only way you can fail is if you quit.
Yeah, exactly. That's a sure loss
Exactly.
if you never do it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So don't give up. Like if you're in that place and you're working at it, just don't stop. Keep going. Keep going. And
I
find
love it.
positive people like yourself. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you're like the best cheerleader, honestly.
Uh,
Even when we were on the show, you were always like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, girl, I'm not getting on stage. They will not see me on stage. I knew
See, hey. But
it.
wonderful thing, the whole experience. I love experiences,
Me
and I
too.
think that when you step outside of your norm, outside of your paradigm, and you go and experience something you've never experienced, like yeah, I was part of the elder group for that. I was like, honey, and
Me
then
too.
and then at the
I'm right
time
behind you.
I was on insulin at the time, so I was having to
Oh
babysit my
my.
insulin too.
Oh
No
my.
longer on that, thank you, Lord. No longer
Oh.
taking that, but that was a whole thing. I had to buy a refrigerator at the hotel. I mean,
Oh
you had to rent
wow.
one because they didn't have one, so you had to
And
rent it.
see, I didn't even know that. I would have never known
Yeah,
if you hadn't told me that,
yeah,
honestly.
I had to rent a refrigerator to hold my insulin, and
Wow.
and that
Wow.
was a whole experience. They were like, we're picking the refrigerator up early. What? I need it till I leave, but
Right, right, right. Yeah,
yeah,
and
it was.
I mean, it was like I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea, and like you go into this whole thing blind. It's like okay, every day was like this new experience, And I don't
It
know about you,
was.
but there wasn't a whole lot of sleep that happened. Like,
No, because your mind is racing after you've been through the whole, the
right,
filming all day. Your mind is racing about the next day and how can you be, you had to
right.
do these pitches. And I had never pitched my business. I teach people how to pitch. I had never pitched my business, not one time. And that was my first pitch experience. And I'm like,
I've
oh,
never
this is
pitched.
actually harder than
I've never pitched. I was kind of like, what? You want me to get up and do what now?
I've never pitched my business ever,
Mm-mm.
but I do have clients that have won, that I've taught how to pitch and they win. And I'm like, okay, yeah. From the other side, it gave me a whole new perspective on that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a
Yeah, I
great
mean,
experience being out there in that on that reservation in that
yes,
hotel, doing some
yes.
amazing
I
things.
learned so much in that 4.5 days. I mean, I'm like a whole nother business person. And they're
Yeah.
not kidding when they say you get, a whole semester or 2 years of business training in that week. No lie. It's the
No
truth.
lie. Absolutely no lie. Yeah. I
It's the
actually
truth.
went the weekend we were there was the 101st anniversary of the massacre. And so the Wall Street massacre. So
Right.
I actually got to go down. Some of the people that lived there took me on a tour
Oh, wow.
to go, and they gave me all the history of the different buildings, and
Wow.
I took pictures in front of got out, and I was like, okay, because I can't come all the way out here and not
What an
experience, it was
experience.
too
Wow.
close. It was
Yeah.
amazing. It was amazing. And the mom, her family actually grew up there. And so she
Wow.
was like, well, yeah, because I know, and this is the church where they hid in the basement. And this is like, they
Wow.
took me on the whole tour. And I thought
Wow.
that is so, and then they wouldn't let me pay them for the knowledge that they had given me. Like, no, we're so glad that you asked, because they had a big event that Saturday, and that Sunday is when I got to go around and see it. So the
Oh,
event was
wow.
over and it was, everybody was gone or whatever, but I enjoyed that so much.
Oh, I would
They're like, you
love
could
to.
feel
If
the
I ever
energy
get
in it.
back that way, I really would love to see that. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's amazing. They have the tours that are there, but one of the stores, one of the ladies who had the store there, they made her move to a different location. We got to see her. Like it was amazing. And learn of her story and stuff. It was an amazing experience. So I was like, I'm an entrepreneur. Of course, I teach people entrepreneurship. I have to go, down where the entrepreneurs were. And that
yeah.
was amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I
Out
would have to, yeah, I'll definitely have to do that at some point.
but
I would love to see
very
that. Yeah.
cool. Very,
Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
very, very
Maybe
cool.
we'll do
Very,
a road trip there at some point. Because we're
yeah.
not that far from Chicago. It's
Okay.
not that far of a
Okay.
drive. So yeah, I'd love to
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah. When you're a global traveler, nothing is too far.
Yeah.
But I love
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your yes. Thank you for coming on the show and sharing your knowledge and sharing your good news and things. And is there anything you would like my audience to follow up on? Like they do already have your links, but is there anything that like you talked about the books, the publishing books that you've already done, your children's books? How can they get access to those?
So I'm on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. It's The
Okay.
Adventures of Maxine and Beanie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you can find that there. And like as far as the champagne, it's laundrywineries.com. You can find us there. And we love like showing up for things. Like if anybody wants to do an event and they want us to come and talk about it, we'll show up. We'll do that.
I
We
love it.
can do that. So champagne education is really something that we love to do because so many people don't understand what champagne truly is and the history of it. So it's a lot of fun for us.
I love
So
it.
yeah, and you can find us on Instagram. So either Karolyn, my first name, Karolyn D88, or Laundry Wineries. And
I
Maxine and
love it.
Beanie, that's on Instagram too.
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
You can find me. I'm easy.
Uh, well, thank you again. Thank you for coming on the show and for talking about all the amazing things. And we'll keep following, keep watching, and shouting over in the corner.
Well, thank
So,
you, Linda. Thank you. Appreciate.
well,
Thank you for
you all
inviting
have
me.
But I appreciate you so much, girl. I really do. I'm going to close us out. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug. I just plugged you in to Champagne Life with Karolyn. So reach out to her. Her links are wherever you're listening to this interview, and connect with her. Learn about what she's doing. Learn about how you can support her. And go buy some bottles of wine of champagne in order to have your best celebration. And now you like me know someone who actually creates champagne. I'll see you next week here on the Business Plugs Mixer, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. To everyone, have a great week. Goodbye, everyone.